What if happiness wasn't just about good vibes, luck, or personality, but something your brain could build intentionally, biologically, and predictably? In this video, we're diving into what the latest brain science from 2023 to 2025 says about happiness. Not the vague kind, the measurable, neurological kind. Stick around, because this isn't about being positive all the time. It's about how your brain really works, and what you can do to feel better, live better, and maybe even retrain your mind for joy. Let's start with a myth that happiness is something you either have or don't. New research says that's simply not true. According to a 2023 meta-analysis from the University of Cambridge, only about 10% of your long-term happiness is tied to your circumstances, like money, location, or job status. Around 40% is influenced by intentional habits and behaviors, the stuff you can actually control. And here's where it gets interesting. The rest, about 50%, comes down to your brain's default wiring. But even that can change. This concept, called neuroplasticity, is the brain's ability to rewire itself based on experience. That means you're not stuck with the mood you were born with. You can literally reshape the pathways that influence how often and how easily you feel happiness. Let's look at how. In 2024, researchers at MIT used functional MRI scans to explore the happiness circuit in the brain, a network of structures including the prefrontal cortex, nucleus accumbens, amygdala, and hippocampus. What they discovered is that happiness isn't located in one place. It's a collaboration between emotion, memory, and reward systems. Let's break it down. The prefrontal cortex helps you evaluate situations and predict positive outcomes. The nucleus accumbens lights up in anticipation of a reward. The amygdala processes emotional reactions, both positive and negative. The hippocampus links happiness to memory, helping you say. So what does that mean practically? It means happiness isn't just about what happens. It's about how your brain interprets and remembers it. This explains why two people can have the same experience, and one feels joy while the other feels nothing. Their brains are activating differently. But, and here's the kicker, you can train these areas through specific behaviors. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to train your brain for happiness is through gratitude. And no, it's not just In a 2023 clinical trial from UCLA, participants who wrote down 3 things they were grateful for every day showed increased connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and reward centers in just 3 weeks. Even better, their baseline mood improved. Not just when they were writing, but throughout the day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. And that shift literally rewires your brain to notice positive cues more often. Other studies from 2024 found that gratitude can reduce stress hormone levels, improve sleep quality, boost immune response, increase relationship satisfaction. It's simple, free, and takes 5 minutes. But its effects on the brain are surprisingly deep. Want to be happier? Don't chase joy. Train your brain to notice it. Let's talk movement. We all know that exercise is good for your body. But what recent science shows is how specific types of exercise affect your brain's happiness chemistry. A 2025 study published in Nature, Neuroscience found that a single 20-minute brisk walk increases dopamine and serotonin activity in the brain and improves mood more effectively than meditation alone. But even more fascinating, aerobic activity, especially rhythmic movement like walking, swimming, or cycling, also boosts BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that strengthens neuroconnections. This means every time you move, your brain becomes more capable of feeling and sustaining happiness. And this doesn't take hours. Just 15 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week, is enough to reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, improve resilience to stress, increase production of feel-good neurotransmitters. So, no, you don't have to be a gym rat, but your brain was built to move. And when you honor that, it rewards you with mood-boosting chemistry. Here's something most people don't realize. Social connection is not a luxury. It's a neurological requirement. In a groundbreaking 2024 study from Harvard's Center for Brain Health, researchers found that social isolation triggers the same pain circuits in the brain as physical injury. And the opposite is also true. Spending time with people you like, even just small talk, lights up your reward system and increases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Even more interesting, social connection doesn't have to be deep. Micro-interactions, like chatting with a barista or texting a friend, are enough to boost your emotional baseline for hours. In fact, a 2025 experiment with wearable mood trackers showed that people who had 5+ casual positive interactions per day reported significantly higher happiness scores than those with fewer, even if they were introverts. So if you're feeling low, the fastest mood boost isn't self-care, it's connection. Send a voice note, call your grandma, smile at a stranger. It all counts. Your brain just wants to feel part of something. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Because the science is clear. Certain habits, even common ones, actively interfere with happiness circuitry. At the top of the list, chronic doom scrolling and social comparison. In a 2023 multi-university study, researchers found that people who spent more than 90 minutes a day on social media, especially Instagram and TikTok, showed decreased activity in the prefrontal cortex and increased amygdala reactivity. Translation: less impulse control, more anxiety, less happiness. Why? Because your brain wasn't built to process hundreds of images of curated lives in rapid succession. It starts to interpret that input as threats. Social status threats, appearance threats, achievement threats, that hijacks your reward system and numbs your dopamine receptors. The same receptors responsible for joy. The fix isn't quitting social media entirely. It's conscious use. Try setting time limits, curating your feed, taking 1 day a week offline, replacing one scroll session with a walk or a call. Your brain needs recovery time, just like your muscles. Here's a surprising one. Sleep might be the single most underrated happiness tool you have. In a 2024 sleep neuroimaging study from Stanford, scientists discovered that even 1 night of poor sleep reduces activity in the brain's emotional regulation centers by 60%. That's huge. It means when you're sleep deprived, your brain literally loses the ability to regulate emotion properly. But the study also found that people who consistently got 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep had stronger activity in their reward system, better emotional memory. They remembered happy moments more clearly, lower reactivity to negative stimuli. And get this, sleep also helps your brain clear out neurotoxins, consolidate positive experiences, and rebalance neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. So, before you start a new diet or meditation practice, ask yourself, are you sleeping enough to even process happiness when it arrives? Last but not least, meaning. We often chase happiness as a feeling, but the most sustained form of happiness comes from a sense of meaning. Feeling that your life matters, that you're part of something bigger. A 2023 longitudinal study from Yale followed over 3,000 people for 2 years. Those who reported having a daily sense of purpose, no matter how small, had consistently higher happiness scores, even through stress, illness, or job loss. This wasn't about passion or career success. It was about engagement. Doing something that felt worthwhile each day. Helping someone, creating something, learning something, practicing a belief or value. The happiest brains weren't chasing pleasure, they were showing up for what mattered. Again and again. Let's sum it up. The latest brain science says happiness isn't a mystery. It's a pattern you can build, strengthen, and protect. Here's what that pattern looks like. Train your brain with gratitude. Move regularly, even a little. Connect with others. Often, watch what you consume. Online, sleep like it matters. Do things that matter. None of these are huge, but together, they're how you build a brain that knows how to feel joy. Not just in moments of excitement, but in the quiet, ordinary parts of life. And that, according to science, is what lasting happiness really looks like. Thanks for watching, good to know. If this video gave you something to think about, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little brain-boosted joy. And let us know in the comments. What's one thing that always makes you feel genuinely happy? Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and stay informed.